Hello everyone, this is Charles here at Nutrition 101. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to have a very deep discussion. We're going to look at how the data that we receive shapes the way we perceive the world, and in this particular case, COVID-19. We're going to get into a pretty deep discussion. I'm going to break this up into 3 segments. I'm going to explain why this ties into your health and nutrition. Currently, right now, in our state, in our condition, right, we're in crisis mode. The United States is in crisis mode. The world is in crisis mode, right? We're in a state of panic, and not because we really need to be regarding COVID-19. It's because the fear is up, right? The fear was going down. So whatever the agenda is here, every time we try to move forward and resume back to normal, right? Leaving the past behind us. These politicians get frantic, get crazy, and all of a sudden now there's another variant, and people are just shaking in their bones just right away in their variants. And it's absurd, because at this point you have to start to think, when is this going to end, right? We all just want to get back to normal, right? But they don't want us to get back to normal. They're like sucking us back in, and people are just buying into us, and we're still wearing masks. There's a bunch of variants, and there's restrictions that are destroying this country. Here's the big problem. Like, we tried it your way. Like, let's just say, okay, right? We know there's a COVID-19. We know there's a virus that exists. We know that it hurts people. It hurts the elderly. We know that. There's no denying that. But what's in question here is the mandates, right? This shot, if the shot is even effective at all, or even this mask are effective at all, right? We're going to talk about all of that, and like I said, we're going to break this up into different segments. But right now, we tried it your way. We tried it the way where let's just be part of the biggest human test trial in history, and let's just go get this shot, because this is what they're saying is the right thing to do, and this is going to protect us, and this is going to keep us from getting COVID-19. This is going to keep us from dying, right? Well, it's not. None of those things have been proven. And every time there's an argument to say, it works and it's effective and it fights diseases and it's safe and effective, right? There's a bunch of arguments that show different, right? Because right now, there's objective opinions and there's subjective opinions. So this is going to get tricky. We're going to do a whole segment just on that, objective and subjective. But right now, I want to say, it's not working. We tried it your way. Then there was a first one. Then there was a booster. Then there was a third one. There's another variant. And people are still getting sick, and people are still dying, and they're not dying from COVID, right? There are more kids now dying from the shot than from actual COVID. The people who are dying from COVID are generally the same people who were dying from COVID in the first place. The people who are getting the shots are still getting sick, and they're worse because they could be walking around not knowing that they have it, and they're spreading all over the place. Look at all the places right now that have these outbreak cases, like the NFL or the NBA or Duke University. And these people are vaccinated. If I was a freaking football player right now, I'd be effing pissed that I went out and got that shot, and all of a sudden now, half my team is out, and there's people still getting sick, and this is crazy, right? They're making it so hard for people without the vaccine to get back into a game if they got tested positive. They have to wait 10 or 14 days. They have to be in quarantine or just not be able to play. And then the guys who are vaccinated that get COVID, they're out for 5 days. Either way, guess who are the ones that are getting COVID? The people who are vaccinated. 70% of New Yorkers are vaccinated. Guess who's getting sick? Right? Everywhere people have the highest vaccination rate, all of a sudden now those numbers are going up. So this is what I mean. So the information we're getting, or the information that you're willing to listen to and hear, really shapes the way we look at life, or even this particular case, COVID-19, because there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of misconceptions, there's a lot of misled information. And I don't want to hear all you screaming crybabies. I believe in science. I believe in science. Really? You believe in science. Okay, so what science do you believe, right? Because the science that matters, a lot of times opposes what's going on right now. The people out there screaming, I believe in science, are the ones who are getting sick. I believe in science. It's the same as the guy with, the guy that's not as endowed and he has a muscle car, or the person who overcompensates in some way, has something bigger because he's lacking something else, right? In this particular case, you lack intelligence. So you want to say, I believe in science because that's what you heard on the news. Use your brain, people. So you get the information, you regurgitate it and vomit it out to everyone and say, I believe in science. We got this bad boy for a reason. And meanwhile, you're obese, fast food eater, and stay-at-home mom. I'm not saying you always are that, but I'm saying it could be that, right? Yes, you could be smart and intelligent and still say, I believe in science, right? But know nothing about science. But guess who does know something about science? Someone like me, right? I believe in science too, right? I'm a certified nutritionist. I'm not a licensed nutritionist, but certified, but I study the hell like I am one. A dietitian, nutritionist, naturopaths. We all believe in science as well. And guess what? We understand science. We understand it much better than you because we're not reading or not listening to the science that you're watching on the news, right? They're feeding you information. They're feeding you what you think is science, right? It is science, but it's the science that you want to hear that goes along with your narrative, right? And you're not going to go research elsewhere because why would you, right? That you would have to put effort. You need to be lazy. You need to be spoon-fed. You need information on demand, and that's what the news is great for. So that's what you're getting. So you're getting this information. This is the data we're receiving, right? We don't really know. There are so many things we don't really know, but we're going to go because it's convenient and easy. So this is now shapes the way we perceive everything, and we're really gung-ho about that, right? We get this information, and we're serious, and we're just like, really stick to your guns and strong with your opinions, and you're willing to fight for them. But you're not willing to listen to the other side or willing to change. A lot of times this is all relative. You may look at COVID-19 and think the worst things because you might have worked in an emergency room and see horrible things and say, well, it's the worst thing ever. It's the worst thing ever, right? But I know nurses who say the other way. They're saying, this is who's dying. These are old people. These are sickly people to begin with. They're dying. We know that. But there's still people not really realizing that they're all going to be okay if they don't get it. There's going to be a lot more harm done if you do get it. And I would never take that chance. So it's really just relative. Ambulance workers, a lot of times doctors, they're always going to say they're just taught to just be robots. Take the shot. It is safe and effective. It will prevent disease. Take the shot. It might be dangerous. You might have an autoimmune disease. Take it anyway. If you at this point are buying into the Omicron variant and you consider even going and getting a shot, you really have to seriously question your intelligence at this point, because they're just leading you on, and these guys are just sitting back, lounging, chilling, laughing at us because we're just suckers, right? Americans are just falling and rolling over and dying. New Yorkers rolling over and dying, just saying, lead the way. Tell me how I need to be healthy because I don't know how. Of course you don't know how because you never knew how. So this is the people that are screaming, I believe in science, because they never knew. They never knew what the science of their body was. They never understood biology. They never understood what goes in your mouth can dictate your overall health. Exercise, right? That's effort. That's real effort, and most Americans don't want to put real effort into it. They'll put effort into a lot of other things, but not the things that really matter. Because we're a consuming nation. We just like to consume and have things we just want and not need. And if you could take a medication to keep you alive, just enough so you could just keep the lifestyle you want, why not? Right? Yeah, let me just take this to keep me alive. High blood pressure, one of the easiest things in the world. Easy things to take care of naturally. Right? Even pre-diabetics. Right? Super easy. Okay? cholesterol problems. Come on, a joke. Those are a joke. You should never need medicine for those things. But yet people are lined up to go get it all the time. What it comes down to at the end of this is that there is no real proof. If you want to say there's no proof that natural remedies work, well, there's no proof that this shot works, or there's definitely no proof that these masks work, right? This is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard and seen. It's still going on. It's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse and worse in New York, which is why I left. I got out at a good time because the damn mayor there wants to make it mandate for every kid to get a vaccine to go into school. How stupid is that? So my point here is there are a lot of people out there that don't need this vaccine. And they're not getting the information they need. For example, athletes, right? Big adverse effects. Young athletes, right? They're having heart issues, right? Young kids. More young kids have died from the vaccine than from COVID, right? Healthy people, right? I would take the chance with COVID any day of the week than that shot, because I could die from that shot and there's no liability. No one would care. The government's not responsible. You're done. You could be a perfectly healthy person and die from this shot. But I could 100%, 99.9% chance live from COVID. Right? I'll take that chance. I'll take that chance any day of the week for my family, for my kids. Definitely not going to go get the shot, and we feel pretty strongly about that. And I feel sorry for the people that have. Because if you have, you've been bamboozled, and it's not going to get any better. I don't know what this shot means for us moving forward and what lies ahead for you. I really don't know, but I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't know if there's like trackers in there and things like that. You're getting a lot of heavy metals, that's for damn sure, right? One of the most toxic things you can consume in your body is heavy metals, and you're getting a heavy dose of that. Heavy dose of that, right? That's true. That's biology. That's science-based. There's a lot of things that this shot does, right? That's not good. That's biology. That's science-based. But there's a lot of things you're not going to hear mainstream because it won't be reported. It's pretty easy to find who gets sick from COVID, who dies from COVID. That's easy to find. But the real information, the information that is blocked and filtered, that's the stuff you're going to have to dig for, or might not be able to find at all if you're not savvy enough to do it. So that's it for this session. We're going to get into objective and subjective behaviors and thoughts and beliefs and reports, and the difference between the two, and why those two things can shape the way you look at this virus. Because there's a lot of information there that we all need, and we need to understand this a little better. We're just not educated enough. There's not enough people talking about it, and maybe if they are, they're getting blocked and filtered. So I'm hoping this could stay up on YouTube, but chances are I might just have to put it on BitChute, which is like a unblocked YouTube. You're allowed to put anything on there. All right, thank you again for tuning in. My name is Charles here at Nutrition 101, and I'll see you real soon.